send naman na sa inyo to, yung ating 1 to 100 na final coaching today. So, sana meron na kayong kopya para masabayan nyo ako habang nagsasagot. So, actually, basic na lang to sa inyo kasi last time, na-discuss na natin to lahat. Nag-discuss po ako ng fire technology and arson investigation. So, madadalian na lang kayo dito. No? Inaasahan ko nga na alam nyo na to lahat. No? Madlang people. So, good luck sa ating lahat and God bless para sa darating na board exam. Okay, to start our final coaching, question number 1. The active principle of burning characterized by the heat and light of combustion. Letter A, explosion. B, flame. C, combustion. And D, fire. Okay, sabayan natin. What is the answer? Active principle of burning characterized by the heat and light of combustion. Okay? The answer is fire. Okay? Active principle of burning, madlang people, is fire. Tandaan na, letter D. Okay. Tingnan natin bakit hindi po letter A, hindi B, at hindi letter C yung ating answer. Okay. So, si explosion, okay, actually, active principle din naman siya ng combustion. Yun nga lang, meron tayong hinahanap na word pagdating kay explosion. Okay, as you can see here, na meron tayong rapid increase in volume with energy in extreme manner. Kaya nga explosion pagsabog. So, yung hinahanap natin is yung word na extreme. Okay? So, usually with generation of high temperatures and the releases of gases. Okay? So, pag may nabasa kayong active principle, huwag kayong agad sasagot lagi ng fire. Kasi minsan, kapag nakita mo yung rapid increase, kasi may dalawang klase tayo na oxidation, dama. May slow, tsaka may rapid oxidation. So, sa rapid oxidation, pasok dyan din yung explosion. So, in extreme manner, kasama dyan, minsan, makikita mo din sa keywords natin yung loud sound. Yan. Lahat po yan, definition yan is madlang people, explosion. Okay? So, wag sagot na sagot. Nagulat ako, mayroong mga nagsagot ng flame. Bakit flame? Madlang people. No, ilang beses na natin ito paulit-ulit. Okay. So, ito, tinan mo ha. The sudden combustion accompanied by light, heat, abrupt noise, and pressure. What is the answer? Ulitin ko, tingnan mo yung keyword, pare. I-underline natin, no? Pressure, abrupt noise, may light and heat. What is the answer? Tek, ang gagaling na. Snappy explosion. Nadali nyo. Di ba? Kahit balik-balik na rin natin yan, extreme noise, abrupt noise, pressure, okay? Lahat yan pare, explosion lang. Okay? Okay. Tuloy tayo. So, next. Kung matatandaan natin, di ba, si word na combustion, no? May dalawang klase ng combustion, madlang people. Okay? May dalawang klase ng combustion. Kung makikita natin, si combustion, meron niyang flaming type, at saka meron niyang flameless. Yan yung rason bakit yung number 1, hindi flame ang sagot. Okay? So, meron tayong flaming type, meron din tayong flameless type. O, tingnan natin. Ano ba ang flame? Okay. Pag sinabi natin flame, it is the visible, radiant, hot, gaseous part of fire. Visible. Radiant. Maliwanag, pare. No? Ano pa? It is caused by the highly exothermic reaction. Okay. So, sa energy natin, may dalawa din yan. Exothermic, tsaka endothermic. Diba? Pag exo, you are producing heat. Pag endo, you are absorbing heat. Very good. Other term for producing, releasing. Pare-parehas lang yan. Okay? Very good. So si flame, yan yung cause niya. No? Pag nagkakaroon daw ng exothermic reaction at may visible, radiant, hot, gaseous part yung fire, yun yung flame. So another result din siya ng combustion. Okay? So production, na-produce lang siya ng combustion. Basic. Okay. Ma'am, paulit-ulit ka sa combustion. Ano po ba kasi yung combustion, ma'am? Okay. So, punta tayo kay combustion, madlang people. Pinapahirapan kasi natin yung salita sa combustion eh. Napag-iiwalay natin yung fire and combustion. Basta tandaan nyo, resulta lang ng combustion yung fire. Kasi pag sinabi natin combustion, burning yan. Okay? Yan yung pinakamadaling term para kay combustion. Burning. So when we say combustion, it is a high temperature exothermic redox of chemical reaction between a fuel and oxidant. So as you can see, magkakaroon ng combustion if these four are present. No? Meron tayong fire tetrahedron. Okay. So present si oxygen, si heat, at saka yung ating fuel, the elements of fire. Kaso, na-realize ng mga scientists, ay pare, hindi pala sapat na tatlo lang yung elemento natin. Kailangan may tuloy-tuloy na chemical reaction, na chemical chain reaction para magkaroon ng combustion. Kasi pag tetrahedron lang, fire lang yung mapoproduce. Hindi literal na burning. So kung gusto natin ng combustion, dapat may fire tetrahedron, okay? Or yung chemical chain reaction. Okay? Other definition pa niyan is self-sustaining chemical reaction. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kaya niyang mag-isa. No? Kaya niyang maging single forever. Okay? Ayan. O bakit mga humuhugot yan ha? Walang iyak, maaga pa. Okay, tuloy. So, kung may combustion tayo, meron din tayong mga methods of extinguishment. Pinapakita ko pa lang to, but later on, i-discuss natin itong methods of extinguishment. Kasi nga, kaya nga tayo nag-aaral ng Arson, investigation, para technology. Kasi nga, gusto natin labanan yung apoy. Yun talaga yun. So, yung science behind that, yung chemistry, actually, inaaral lang naman yan dahil gusto natin malaman how we will extinguish the fire. So, these are the methods of extinguishing fire. Meron tayong cooling, meron tayong blanketing, smothering, and removing or starving the fire by removing fuel. So, si cooling, okay, ano yung best chemical or element or material for cooling? Ano ba? Ang ginagamit natin, very good, no? Water, H2O. Okay? Sa ibang mga terminologies, quenching, ginagamit din yon, no? Quenching, cooling, pare-parehas lang yan. Water. So, blanketing, prevent the oxygen from combining with the fuel, smothering, expelling oxygen, and yung starving nga, you are removing the fuel itself. So kung mapapansin nyo lang dito, the point lang naman, madlang people here, fire is extinguished when one component is removed. So yung fire tetrahedron natin, mawala yung isa, automatic, fire will be extinguished. So later on, tatagal pa tayo dyan. So tuloy tayo ng discussion natin. Okay. Nakikita niyo dito sa picture natin, okay? Ito yung combustion. So, from the element of fire, na fuel, oxygen, heat, nagkaroon ng chemical reaction, tapos nagkaroon ng combustion, because of the exothermic reaction, nakaproduce po tayo ng smoke, light, at heat. Okay. Sa light dito, pasok dyan yung flame. Diba? Yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina. then heat, and then smoke. Okay, tuloy tayo. Okay, let us answer this question. So basically, fire has three important elements for its sustenance. Authorities, however, establish what is known as the fourth element of fire. This refers to A, fuel, B, heat, C, uninhabited chemical reaction, and D, oxygen. What is the answer? Yes, very good, no? Chemical reaction, uninhabited chemical reaction. Okay? Kung mapapansin nyo, paiba-iba lang yung definition. Yung iba naman, self-sustaining chemical reaction. Pare-parehas lang yon. Chemical chain reaction, still the same pa rin. Uninhabited chemical reaction, still the same. So, ano ang point dito, no? Kapag nagsasagot kayo sa board exam, no? Pagkasagot na sagot, i-check mo yung mga choices. Minsan kasi kailangan mo lang mag-cancel ng mga choices. Diba? So, lalo na dun sa mga huhula. Ito yung honest. Honest na kailangan yung malaman. Honest review sa board exam. No? Darating ang point na talagang maghuhula kayo. Okay? Yun yung katotohanan. At huwag kayong huhula nang pipikit ka lang. Okay? So kapag huhula ka, assure mo na meron ka namang laban, pare. No? At least may 50% doon. So kung hindi letter A, case mo na yung A, at least meron ka ng chances na malaki-laki, no? 3/4. No? Ganon din. Magbawas ka hanggang sa 2 na lang, pare, yung pipilian mo. Kasi kung hindi mo gagawin yon, ang ending, mali ka na agad. Okay? Isa rin sa dahilan kung bakit hindi nagtatap sa board exam ang mga estudyante, dahil sagot lang ng sagot. Okay? Huwag niyo po akong gayahin, no? Na hindi ko tinatapos yung 2 hours ng board exam. Gamitin niyo po yung time na i-double check yung inyong mga answers. Huwag kayong sagot ng sagot. Okay? So, yan. Tip lang yan. Sige, tuloy tayo. Okay, so yan. Fire tetrahedron. Okay, next. Normally, fire feeds in a direction, but the least likely path a fire will follow is A, upward, B, sideward, C, downward, D, outward laterally. So, normal lang daw na kumakalat ang apoy. But, the least likely path a fire will follow, yun. Ibig sabihin ng least, ibig sabihin, pinakamababang paraan or possibility nakakalat ang apoy. Upward, sideward, downward, or outward, laterally. The answer is, may sumagot pa ng letter A. Ano ba yan? Letter C. Diba? Tingnan niyo yung question. Tingnan niyo yung question. Sabi niya, but the least likely. Tingnan mo, pare. Ibig sabihin, sino daw yung walang chance? Okay, parang ano lang yan. May 4 na manliligaw, no? Lahat daw yan may chances. Sino daw yung pinaka hindi pipiliin? Putik. Bakit may sumasagot ng A? Letter A. Yan yung pinakatamang sagot. So, mali ka na kagad. Sideward, pwede din. Di ba may tinatawag tayong V pattern? Sideward yan. Pagkalat ng apoy. Okay. Outward, pwede din. Still, yung V pattern. So, ang sagot dito, letter C. Downward. No? Saan ka naman nakakita na ang apoy? No? Imaginein mo lang yung flame pataas. Okay? So, yung oxygen din natin, pataas yan. So, pagkakalat yung apoy, pataas. Alam nga naman kung malat yung apoy, nandun sa taas, biglang nasunog din yung ilalim. Okay, so maliit yung chances na yon. Okay? So, letter C po ang sagot. Okay, tuloy tayo. Okay, next. Okay, what moves rapidly by convection and can spread laterally along the ceiling? What moves rapidly by convection and can spread laterally along the ceiling? Letter A, heat. B, fire. C, smoke. D, temperature. Okay, what is the answer? Nga. So may nagsagot smoke, may nagsagot ng letter A, heat. Okay. Okay, the answer is, ano daw yung nagmumove rapidly by convection? The answer is smoke. Okay? Smoke po ang answer natin. Smoke. Okay? So, yan po yung kumakalat sa ceiling, kaya umiinit yung room. Okay? So, yan din yung nagkakos ng mga sudden explosion. Okay? So, smoke po ang ating answer. Okay? Siyempre, hindi heat. Okay? Hindi rin fire. Okay? Hindi rin naman lalo temperature. Diba? Tuloy. Ano ba ang smoke? When we say smoke, it is a collection of airborne solid and liquid particulates. Yan yung minsan pinagkakamalian ng mga estudyante kasi akala nila pag smoke is gas state siya. Actually, hindi po. No? Si smoke ay solid and liquid. Okay? Dahil po sa vapor na pinoproduce niya and dun sa mga small particles na hinahalo doon sa vapor dahil nga nasusunog, yung soot na tinatawag natin. So, and gases emitted when the material undergoes combustion or pyrolysis or the decomposition of the matter. So, pag nagde-decompose yung matter, kadalasan dyan, nagpo-produce yan ng soot at yung soot kakalat sa air or sa vapor. So, together with the quantity of air that is entrained or otherwise mixed into the mass. Okay. So, yan. Smoke. Okay. Imagine, no? Ang dami ko na nasabi. Question number 1 pa lang yon. So, ay balikan natin si smoke bago tayo magpunta sa question number 2. Okay, balikan natin yung mga colors of the smoke. Okay, pag white, ang kadalasang nasusunog ay mga humid materials. Very good. Pag biting smoke, ano ang keyword natin kay biting smoke? Okay, magnesium ore, also known as the poisonous smoke. Okay, very good. How about black smoke? Black smoke is also known as the dangerous smoke or yun nga rin, nasusunog yung kerosene. Okay? So, yan ha. Yan yung mga keyword natin. Okay? Tuloy. Number 2. So, the following are essential elements of a fire, except A, fuel, B, oxygen, C, heat, and D, solid. Of course, napakadali na itong question na to, no? Pamigay. Of course, solid. Si fuel, anything that will burn when heated with sufficient oxygen. Si fuel, maraming types ng fuel, di ba? Meron tayong solid fuel, may liquid fuel, may gas fuel. So, yun lang yung point dyan. Okay? So, kaya hindi solid. Okay? So, si oxygen, sa other books, makikita nyo dyan, oxidizing material. Okay? Pwede din yun gamitin. So, when we say oxidizing material, it is a material that readily yields oxygen in quantities sufficient to stimulate or support a combustion. Okay? So, kanina, pinag-uusapan natin, no, may dalawang klase ng oxidation. Meron tayong slow oxidation, tsaka meron tayong rapid oxidation. Tama? So, sa slow oxidation, pasok dyan yung decaying, sagot din dyan yung aging, sagot din dyan yung rusting. Okay. Sa rapid naman, dyan papasok si fire at si explosion na pinag-uusapan natin din kanina. Okay? So, tuloy. Let us see. What kind of gas exists solely in the gaseous state under pressure and at a normal temperature inside the container? What is the answer? Inside its container, pare. The answer is compressed gas. Very good. Kung matatandaan natin, no? Si cryogenic gas, ito po yung type ng gas that produces immediate drop in temperature of its surrounding. No? So pag may cryogenic gas, there is a drop of temperature. Okay? Kapag liquefied, ito yung example yung LPG gas na liquid siya inside cylinder. Pag nasa loob pa ng cylinder, still it is inside. Pag nuclear gas naman, ang normal na halo ng isang nuclear gas ay yung tinatawag nating uranium dioxide. Uranium dioxide para sa nuclear gas. Si liquefied gas, yan po yung example niyan yung LPG. It is still liquid when inside a cylinder. Liquid inside the cylinder. Si nuclear gas naman, ang common or ang pinaka-element niya ay yung uranium dioxide. Okay, next question. So what element of fire refers to anything that will burn when heated with sufficient oxygen? Anything that will burn. The answer is? Kala ko may sasagot pa ng B eh. Okay, very good. The answer is fuel. So kung mababalikan natin, si fuel meron niyang solid, meron niyang liquid, at meron din niyang gas. Diba? So, si temperature, yan naman yung tinatawag nating measurement of the degree of thermal agitation of molecules. Okay. So, fuel, kung matatandaan natin, meron tayong mga different types of fuel. Tinatawag natin yung combustible, meron tayong flammable, at saka combustible. Diba? Si combustible, para yun sa solid. Yung salitang combustible fuel, okay, para yun sa solid. Yung flammable naman, pwede yun sa liquid, pwede din yun sa gas. Okay? Yan na. Inflammable, pwede rin yan sa liquid or gas. Basta pag narinig nyo yung salitang combustible material, kadalasan po yun ay solid. Okay. So, let us answer this. What is the measurement of degree of thermal agitation of molecules? The answer is letter C. Nasabi na yan. Ano naman yung tinatawag nating flash point? Okay? When we say flash point, it is also known as the lowest temperature. Okay? So, yan lang daw yung point of temperature wherein pwede nang mag-start ng ignition. Okay? Yung tinatawag nating flash point. Lowest temperature at which vapors materials will ignite. Yung tinatawag naman natin, pare, na fire point, it is the lowest temperature in which the vapor of the material will keep burning. Ang keyword sa flash point, will ignite. Sa fire point, will keep burning. Okay? Linaw tayo dito ha. Okay, question 4. What element of fire aids in the combustion that comes from atmosphere we breathe? What element of fire aids the combustion that comes from the atmosphere we breathe? The answer is letter A, bromide, B, hydrogen, C, helium, D, oxygen. The answer is oxygen. Very good. So, sorry. Balik tayo. So, dito kay oxygen, makikita nyo, hindi bromide, although element din siya, still, kadalasan po si bromide, that is for treatment of epilepsy. No? Si hydrogen naman, this is considered as the lightest element. Okay? Question 5. What is known as the rapid oxidation of substances by generation of heat and light? Ito na naman tayo. D. Rapid oxidation of substance by generation of heat and light. The answer is very good, combustion. Yung iba dito, conversion na from different, from solid to liquid. Katulad itong distillation. Pag magko-convert ka ng liquid to vapor. Very good. Explosion, confined with pressure. Yan yung keyword natin, di ba? Sublimation, ito naman ay solid to gas. Very good. Question 6. What is an active chemical reaction that takes place among fuel, heat, and oxygen in the form of light and noticeable heat? Okay, ulitin natin. What is the active chemical reaction that takes place among fuel, heat, and oxygen in the form of light and noticeable heat? What is the answer? The answer is letter, okay, chemical reaction, letter A. Okay. So, kung makikita natin dito, no, pyrolysis is also known as the thermal decomposition. Yung smoldering naman, yan po yung last phase of the stages of the development of fire. Mamaya pag-uusapan natin yung stages of development of fire. Si pyrolysis naman, di ba? Yan yung thermal decomposition of matter by heat. No, yung nakikita natin, kaya thermal decomposition, ibig sabihin, nagbago na yung kanyang chemical compound, yung kanyang chemical components. Okay. 7. What stage in fire development is characterized by production of smoke? Okay. A, explosion. B, overheating. C, flaming. D, smoldering. Saan dito yung magpo-produce na lang daw ng smoke? Okay? Explosion, overheating, flaming, or smoldering. May sumasagot pa ng overheating, pare. The answer is Kasama ba ang overheating sa stages of fire? Ha? Ako, malapit na yung board exam natin. The answer is smoldering. Oh. Kung makikita natin, no, ito po yung stages of fire. Makikita natin, no, production of smoke. Okay. So, incipient stage, okay? So, makikita natin dito, this is the first stage that begins when the oxygen and fuel source combine and have a chemical reaction resulting to fire. Okay. Kapag tinatawag naman natin, ito yung first stage natin, yung incipient stage. Okay? Minsan ignition stage. Tawag din. Second, kung makikita nyo din sa picture, ito naman po yung growth. So sa growth, makikita natin, flashover can occur. Ito yung sinasabi natin na kapag kumakalat na yung heat or yung smoke sa loob ng isang contained facility or area na may nasusunog, yan yung nagkakos ng flashover. So the growth stage in where the structure of fire, load, and oxygen are used as fuel for the fire. Okay. Next, yung free burning phase. Ito, considered then as the hottest phase. So, sa fully developed, itong area na to, minsan free burning phase ang tawag natin dyan. Ito yung maximum, and ang keyword natin dyan, all combustible materials have ignited na. Okay. And lastly, ito na yung smoldering phase na pinag-uusapan natin kanina, or the decay. Characterized a significant decrease in oxygen or fuel, and this time, or in this phase, dito na lumalabas yung smoke. Okay. So, yan yung yan yung question natin kanina. Okay. So, balik natin. Nag-screenshot daw si Buddy. Ayan, o. Okay. So, yan yung stage na question number 7. So, sa decay, dahil nga nasunog na lahat ng free burning phase, kadalasan po, dyan na lumalabas yung usok. Yan na yung production of smoke. Okay? So, tingnan nga natin. Okay. Kung titingnan natin, ganito po yung ating stages. So, what is the first stage? Ano kasi yung first stage? Ha? Ano first stage? It is the very good. Yung incipient or the ignition. After that, ano yung second stage? Yung tinatawag naman nating growth. Very good. Okay. Next, yung tinatawag nating fully developed or free burning phase. And lastly, yung ating decay or the smoldering phase. Ano yung hottest phase nga daw? Nandiyan yung hottest phase? Incipient, growth, fully developed o decay? Very good, no? Yung ating fully developed, kasi nga po, lahat ng fuel already burning. Ano naman po yung tinatawag nating only smoke is produced? Yung answer sa number 7? Very good. The decay or the smoldering phase. Yan. And lastly, this is where flashover occur. Saan yan? During the very good. No, yung tinatawag nating growth. May sumasagot pa rin ng smoldering. No? Mag-o-occur lang ang flashover during the growth. Kasi sa incipient, ignition phase pa nga lang yan. Sobrang liit pa nung apoy. No? Simula pa lang. No? May chances pang mamatay. While in growth, no? Diyan na nag-init na yung buong area. So, diyan din yung chances na magkaroon ng flashover. Okay? Kasi si flashover, that is an example of a dangerous activity of fire. Diba? Okay. So, si flashover, pwede lang mangyari yan during the growth stage. Okay? Malito, madlang people. Ano ba kasi ma'am yung flashover? Bigyan nyo naman po kami ng halimbawa. So when we say flashover, it is a transition which occur in the development of fire when, example, most of all the combustible surfaces within a room are heated. Mainit na lahat. Not literally na nasusunog na sila, pero lahat sila ay in heat na, mainit na, in the same time or at the same time. Okay, so other definitions, it reached the ignition temperature more or less simultaneously and fire spread rapidly. Ibig sabihin na simultaneously, kumalat daw yung init ng sabay-sabay dun sa lugar. So, kung makikita natin dito, ganito yung itsura niyan. Magkakaroon ng flashover kahit na ito lang yung apoy natin, maliit lang, pero nag-init na yung buong paligid, okay, kasi nga hindi pantay-pantay din yung ventilation natin, ang chances niyan, biglang kakalat yung apoy. Okay? Bigla siyang kakalat. Kaya flash over. Biglang nag-flash over the area. Okay. So what are the dangers that may be encountered during smoldering phase? So in this time, no, nag-smoldering na. Ano kasi yan? The decay phase wherein smoke na lang, di ba, yung napoproduce niya. During this phase, pwedeng magkaroon ng rekindling or reignition. Wherein kapag merong natirang ember dyan, pag sinabi nating ember, kung na yung charcoal na meron pang may apoy pa siya, no? Very good. Baga in Tagalog, no? Yung baga na yon, nagkukos minsan yun ng return to flaming combustion, no? Nagkukos siya ng heat ulit tapos masusunog na naman yung area. Okay, so rekindling ang tawag natin doon or reignition. So, si backdraft naman, okay, si backdraft, it is an explosion resulting from the sudden introduction of air. Mangyayari ito kapag yung lugar po wala siyang ventilation or naka-close yung lahat ng area and the space containing oxygen deficient superheated product of incomplete combustion. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng oxygen sa loob ng bahay na nasusunog, nakain na. Bali, nagugutom na siya. No? Gusto niya na ng oxygen ulit para lumaki pa siya ulit. Kaya deficient eh. Okay? Ibig sabihin, lahat totally nagamit na yung oxygen. So, but by that time, nagkakaroon po ng sudden explosion. Yan yung dahilan kung bakit yung mga firefighters, hindi nila basta-bastang binubuksan yung mga pintuan, yung mga bintana. Kasi, pag ginawa nila yon, pwedeng magkaroon ng backdraft. O, tingnan natin dito. Ganito yung example ng backdraft. Okay? So, wala kang sapat na ventilation, okay? At wala na ring oxygen sa loob, no? Ang mangyayari dyan, okay? Tingnan natin yung ating short video.
When the available oxygen has been consumed by the fire, the hot gases and aerosolized fuels will be present in high concentrations due to incomplete combustion because there is no longer enough oxygen for them to burn and not enough ventilation for them to escape. Although there may not be any visible fire anymore, this condition is very dangerous because all the reaction needs is more oxygen and it will start
Okay.
again.
So, naririnig niyo yan? Yan. So, dahil walang oxygen, pag biglang pumasok yung oxygen, biglang may pagsabog. Okay? Sudden. Okay? Introduction of oxygen. Okay? Yan yung backdraft na tinatawag natin. Okay? So, how can we prevent rekindling and backdraft? Ito yung nakita ko, yung isa yung classmate, no, sinagot na. Yun yung pagpasok ng overhauling. Yun yung halaga niya. Okay. So, in backdraft, in overhauling, this is the time where the firefighters check, no, the detailed check of installation to ensure that the ignition will not reoccur. So kapag nag-fire out na yan sila, hindi yan basta-basta fire out, okay? I-check pa nila yan, mag-overhauling pa kung meron pang possibility na magkaroon ng rekindling or backdraft dun sa lugar, ma-check pa nila. Okay? Overhauling ha. So let us answer this. It is a transition phase in development of a contained fire in which surface exposed in thermal radiation reach ignition temperature more or less simultaneously and fire spread rapidly throughout the space. Letter A, flashover. B, backdraft. C, reignition or rekindling. And D, overhaul. The answer is very good, no? Flashover. Nakakasunod na tayo, no? Transition phase. Okay? Next, an explosion. Ayan ha. To sudden introduction of air. Sinabi na to kanina. Letter B. Very good. Backdraft. Okay. So, nakakasunod na madlang people. Next. What is the detailed check of installation to ensure ignition? Ano daw yan? Letter D. Very good. Wala nang magkakamali ah. And lastly, what is the phase or stage of fire where the same has the highest rate of intensity? Saan daw yung may highest rate of intensity? Pinakamainit dyan? D? No, pinapalit-palitan lang yung words kung mapapansin nyo, but same yung meaning. The answer is free burning. Very good. Number 8 na tayo. Any material or mixture consisting of a fuel and oxidizer used to set off explosives. A, blasting agent. B, gunpowder. C, blasting cap. D, explosive primer. Ano daw dito? Ang ginagamit to set off explosive. D? Answer is blasting agent. Very good. Kung makikita natin dito, okay, ito po yung explosive train. Okay? So, ito po, yun yung low explosive natin. Pag mag-start tayo ng apoy, the safety fuse. Okay? Other term, or pwede nyo i-define as the low explosive. Diyan yung makikita yung black powder. Number 2, yung tinatawag naman nating non-electric blasting cap. Okay? So, ito po yung tinatawag nating primary explosive sa isang explosive. And then, 3, yung tinatawag nating booster. And 4, yung ANFO blasting agent. Na mga secondary explosives na natin. Okay? Number 9. It is the start of fire. A, conduction. B, explosion. C, convection. And D, ignition. Okay? The answer is letter D, ignition. No? Yan lang naman yung dyan, start of fire. Si conduction at convection, parehas yang methods of heat transfer. Diba? So, ano ba yung mga methods of heat transfer natin? Okay. Other term for heat transfer is propagation of heat. Sa propagation of heat, meron tayong convection, conduction, and radiation. So sa heat transfer natin, when it comes to convection, this refers to the liquid or gas. No? Para lang to sa mga liquid at gas. Conduction naman kapag solid to solid. Okay? At radiation naman kapag vacuum or space. Yes, pwede din electromagnetic waves. Other term for radiation is electromagnetic waves. So, nagta-transfer daw yung heat through vacuum. Or space. So, si conduction, yung heat transfer natin dyan, mula dito sa solid na kamay at dun sa mismong kawali. Oh. Convection, yung nangyayaring heat transfer dun sa ating liquid, no, sa boiling water. No? Kasi loosely packed together po ang liquid at ang gas matter, no? So, ganun din yung pagpasa ng heat. Okay? So, sa radiation naman, of course, space lang dito. Mapapansin niyo yan, di ba? Na tatransfer yung heat through vacuum kahit hindi natin nakikita, kahit hindi visible. Question number 10. What is the lowest temperature at which flammable substance will burn once ignited? Lowest temperature. Saan ba dyan yung lowest? Yung tinatawag natin flash point. Pares, flash point tayo. No, yung lowest temperature substance will burn once ignited. Yung keyword natin, di ba? Ignition, tsaka lowest temperature, flash point. Very good, no? Yung fire point, yung keyword natin dyan, will keep burning. Kung makikita natin dito, sa ating mga substances, no, or fuel or materials that can be burned, itong combustible, flammable, or inflammable ang laging nagagamit. So, when we say combustible, flammable, or inflammable, these are descriptive of materials that are easily set on fire. Makikita natin dito, kapag combustible, these are for solid materials. Yung salitang word, yung salita o yung word na flammable naman, para naman to sa mga liquid materials. And combustible naman po, this naman is for materials that have flash point at or above 37.8 Celsius or 100 Fahrenheit. Okay. Tuloy tayo. Eleven. Decomposition of matter due to heat. A. Burning. B. Free ignition. C. Combustion. And D. Pyrolysis. Paulit-ulit na to. The answer is pyrolysis. Very good. Okay. Or thermal decomposition. 12. Measure of the rate of flow of heat through unit area of materials with unit temperature gradient. Okay? Yung rate of flow of heat. Saan dyan yun? No? Minimeasure niya daw gaano kabilis pwedeng mapasa yung init sa isang material from another. The answer is thermal conductivity. Very good. Huwag kayong malilito dyan. Okay? Thermal conductivity. 13. The temperature at which liquid is transformed or converted to vapor. Liquid to vapor, anong answer dyan? Boiling point. Very good. Okay. Yung ating burning point, kilala rin po yan bilang smoke point. Tandaan nyo yan. Burning point is also known as smoke point or fat at which under specific defined conditions, it begins to produce a continuous bluish smoke. Si Bliv naman, this is the boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. Yun nga, kung maalala nyo, na-example ko na to before. Kapag gumagamit kayo ng yung pag naglalaga ka, yung pressure cooker, kaya hindi yan basta-basta binubuksan kapag mainit pa kasi pwedeng magkaroon ng vapor explosion. No? Yung mismong moist na nasa loob na hindi makarelease, yun yung sumasabog. Okay? So, Bliv. Question 14. These are description of materials or compounds that are easily set on fire except one. Okay? Lahat daw yan ay description of materials bukod sa isa. The answer is, so si combustible ba madaling masunog? Yes. Flammable? Yes. Inflammable? Yes. So the answer is letter C. Corrosive material. Pag sinabi natin corrosive, okay, we are talking about any liquid which causes fire when contact with organic matter or with certain materials. Ang keyword natin dyan ay contact with organic material. Okay, 15. Any material having a flash point or above 37.8 degrees Celsius or 100 degree Fahrenheit. This is letter A. Very good. Combustible liquid. Any liquid that causes fire when in contact with organic matter. The answer is letter D, corrosive. Sinabi na to kanina. No? Kailangan lang natin maging attentive. 17. An extremely hot luminous bridge formed by the passage of an electric current across the space between two conductors. Meron daw bridge. Saan lang ba dyan yung may bridge? Letter A. Very good. Electric arc. Ganyan yung itsura niyan. Yan yung bridge from one matter to another. Then nagkakaroon ng pagpasa ng electric current across the space. Ang tawag natin dyan ay electric arc. Yung duct system naman, no? It is a continuous passageway for transmission of air, no? Kadalasan ito ginagawa kapag gusto nyong i-ventilate yung lugar or gusto nyong palamigin yung lugar, gumamit ng aircon, gusto nyong ikalat dun sa space, maganda tong duct system. Yung ember naman, yan yung sinasabi natin kanina na glowing hot coal made of greatly heated wood, coal, and other carbon-based materials. O sa Tagalog, yun nga, yung baga. Okay. Yes, even yung mga exhaust systems natin, pwede rin yung gamitin through duct system. No? Ginagamit din po yun for ventilation. Mamaya makikita niyo yung mga mechanical ventilation. Part yan, yung duct system. Okay. A descriptive of any substance that ignites spontaneously when exposed to air. A. Arc. B. Fire hazard. C. Pyrophoric. And D. Hypergolic. Okay. Sandito yun. Descriptive of any substance that ignites spontaneously when exposed to air. Ibig sabihin, pag na-expose to daw to sa air, nag-i-ignite sabay-sabay or mabilis. The answer is pyrophoric. Kaya, tandaan na, pyrophoric. Ano ba yung hypergolic, ma'am? Si hypergolic, it is a fuel. Ito po yung mga fuel na ginagamit sa rockets or liquid propellants, which consists combination of fuels and oxidizers which ignite spontaneously on contact with each other. Okay? Yan yung ginagamit natin sa mga rockets, yung hypergolic fuel. Very good. Yes, ginagamit ng NASA kasi nga po, ginagamit po sa mga rockets. #18. The main product of combustion of carbon, it is not poisonous, but is an asphyxiant. Okay, not poisonous, but asphyxiant, which lowers the proportion of oxygen available for breathing. A. Carbon oxide. B. Carbon vapor. C. Carbon monoxide. And D. Carbon dioxide. The answer is letter D. Carbon dioxide. Very good. Kasi meron dyan malinaw na not poisonous. Even though nakaka-cause siya ng asphyxia o yung hindi mo na paghinga, no, nahihirapan na to breathe yung isang tao. Kasi asphyxia, yan yung laging cause kung bakit namamatay ang tao sa sunog. Hindi naman dahil nasunog sila, kundi dahil hindi sila nakahinga. Okay. So, ang dahilan po nun is carbon dioxide. Okay, bakit hindi carbon monoxide? Because poisonous gas po si carbon monoxide. Okay, poisonous. So, malinaw naman na nasa question na poisonous. #19. The fire-resisting property of structural element and behavior of building material in a fire, it is used to predict how long it will resist the effect of a fire before it fails. A. Fire resistance. B. Fireproof. C. Fire duration. And D. Fire strength. The tamang answer is very good. No? Fire resistance. Okay? Next. A term used to describe a transition which occur in the development of a fire when, for example, the most of combustible surfaces within a room are heated above their ignition temperature at the same time. Ito, at the same time. The answer is letter B. Very good. Flash over. Okay? Si intensity, it is the rate of temperature of fire. Okay? Si backdraft, no? Kanina napag-usapan na natin yan. Yung sudden increase of oxygen. Okay? Sudden explosion. Occur po yan. Occur. No? Mali lang yung spelling. Sorry na. occur. Okay? The rate of fire's temperature or how hot the fire, it is also the rate of burning. A, intensity. B, magnitude. C, ignition point. And D, fire point. Ano daw yung nagre-rate kung gaano kainit ang fire? How hot? Letter A, intensity. Very good. Okay? Si magnitude, ano naman yung kanyang nire-rate? Ha? Si magnitude, anong nire-rate niya? Yung size of fire. Okay? Of course, meron din pong magnitude yung yung earthquake. Totoo naman, no? Tama naman. But we are talking about fire dito, madlang people. Nako, papunta na tayo sa ibang ibang topic. Okay lang yan. Okay? So, si magnitude, ang kanya namang nire-rate is yung size of fire. Okay lang. Ganun talaga yan. Sinasabayan natin ng birito eh. Mukhang nagkaka-earthquake na sa inyo, ha? Next. It refers to the size of fire. Chapo, ma'am. Refers to the size of fire. Ayan magnitude. Ayan wag na malilito. Okay. Now, punta na tayo sa next number. Question number 21. The following are elements of arson except A, burning, B, negligence, C, malice, D, willfulness. The answer is, ano daw dito ang hindi? Tingnan mo except, hindi element ng fire. I mean, element ng arson, sorry. Element, hindi daw element ng arson. Letter, pare negligence. Pare negligence ang sagot. B. Tingnan mo nga yung definition ng arson, no? Malicious, doon pa lang sa definition. Tingnan mo malicious destruction of property. Okay? Kailangan yung taong gumawa ng arson, gusto niya. Gusto niya, sorry na ma'am. Okay lang. Gusto niya at meron talaga siyang will, meron siya, sinadya niya talagang sunugin yan. Okay. Yung negligence, di ba yung definition ng negligence? Kapag hindi ka nag-ingat, hindi mo sinasadya, negligence. Naging pabaya ka, di ba? Very good, reckless, di ba? Si arson, gusto mo talaga, ginawa mo talaga. Yung negligence, kapabayaan lang. Okay? So, accident kadalasan na nagiging cause ng negligence. Pero ito, si arson, crime talaga yan. Okay? Sana all hindi sinasadya. Kalma ka lang yung kalma lang tayo dun sa frustrated na yan. Okay, dadating tayo dyan. Next. So, ano po ba yung pasok sa arson, ma'am, kasi? No? Ano ba kasi itong lahat ng pwede nating masama sa arson? When we say arson, kadalasan po, ang mga sinusunog natin dyan ay mga house, buildings, structures, vessels, plane, trains, farms, crops. Okay? So, basta property, pasok dyan yan. So, as you can see, meron tayong tatlong types ng arson. Meron tayong simple arson, destructive arson, and other cases of arson. Okay? Si simple arson, madali lang yan. Okay? Simple lang. Kaya nga simple. Okay? Dito tayo kay destructive arson muna. Dahil ito yung medyo magulo. Si destructive arson, meron siyang basis and extent of criminal liability depending on the following. Okay? The character of the building, the location, extent of damage of value, and its state of being inhabited or not. In short, magiging destructive arson yan if yung character ng building is public. No? Yung mga tao doon madami. For example, ang sinunog mo ay isang simbahan. Sinunog mo mall. Okay, wherein maraming tao ang pumupunta diyan. So yung character ng building maraming gumagamit. O kaya holy siya. For example, yung location naman niya. Okay. Oo nga, hindi nga siya mall, no? Hindi nga church and whatsoever, but yung location niya, for example, sa dikit-dikit na kabahayan. No, yung mga slum areas, doon ka nagsunog. So, ang possibility na maapektuhan marami, okay, destructive arson yan. The damage and value. For example, ang sinunog mo museum. Of course, pag sumunog ka ng museum, hindi mo na mababalik yung mga halaga or value nung masusunog mo. So, destructive arson. State of being inhabited or not. Meron bang natutulog dyan? May nagpapahinga bang tao dyan sa lugar na sinunog mo? So, the chances are kung meron, okay, destructive arson pa rin yan. Si simple arson, madali lang. No? Kapag a person burns or set fire to the property of another shall be punished by prison mayor. Okay, the same penalty shall be imposed when a person sets fire to his own property under the circumstances which expose to danger the life or property of another. For example, sinunog mo yung bahay mo pero munti ka nang maabutan yung kapitbahay. Okay? Still, simple arson pa rin yun. Pasok pa rin yun. Okay? Kahit na bahay mo yung sinunog mo. Kaya malinaw tayo dyan. Okay. Ano po yung mga special aggravating circumstances ng arson? Pag sinabi nating aggravating, ibig sabihin, nag-i-increase yung penalty. No? So, nag-i-increase yung penalty pag sinabi nating aggravating. If it is committed with intent to gain, if committed in the benefit of another, if the offender is motivated by spite or hatred, may galit ka, gusto mong gumante, no? Kaya sinunog mo yung lugar towards the owner or occupant of the property being burned, or if it is committed by a syndicate. Sa drug cases, mako-consider na nating syndicate kapag 2 or more person. Pero when it comes to arson, kailangan group of 3 or more person. Okay, sa drugs 2 or more. Pero sa arson, 3 or more. Okay? So, ito na yung tanong, yung stages of the commission of arson. No? Meron ba diyang frustrated, attempted, tsaka consummated arson? Para hindi na natin mahirapan yung mga sarili natin. Pag ang tanong ba, is there frustrated arson? Ma'am, meron po ba frustrated arson? Yes, meron. Kasi nga, normal na sa libro mismo na RPC, meron naman talagang frustrated, attempted, tsaka consummated stages ang isang crime. Pero, because nagkaroon na ng mga jurisprudence dito, no, may iba't ibang case na dumating at nagbago na yung panahon, madlang people, okay? Kapag pinag-uusapan natin is situational question. Kunwari ang binigay sa inyo is situational. huwag ka nang sasagot ng frustrated. As long as nagka-apoy, automatic consummate arson na yan. It doesn't matter kung gaano kalaki yung nasunog. As long as nagkaroon ng soot dyan, ng itim ng konti, consummated na yun. Ha? Magiging attempted lang, for example, ni-ready niya na, nandyan na yung plant, may, kompleto na. Example natin, meron siyang damit, ni-ready niya na madami, tapos nilagyan niya na ng gas, okay? Sisindihan niya na lang talaga. Ibabagsak niya na lang talaga yung yung matchstick. Kaso nga lang nahuli siya. Wala. Hindi niya nalaglag. Hindi natuloy. Hindi niya na set into fire yung mismong ni-ready niyang plant. Attempted pa lang yun. Huwag niya na isipin yung frustrated. Huwag niya na isipin yung frustrated. Huwag niya na pahirapan yung sarili niyo. Okay? Pag situational, mamili ka lang sa attempted at saka consummated. Kasi sa board exam, hindi naman nila ilalagay doon na the fire, the burning has a small amount of burning. Wala nang ganun-ganun doon. Hindi na yung detailed. Wala na yung ganun. Okay? So, ang moral lesson lang dito, kung ano lang yung nasa book, yun lang ang sagot, attempted, consummated lang. Pero pag ang tanong sa inyo, meron bang frustrated? Meron, kasi nga meron naman talaga yan sa stages. Meron talaga. Yun nga lang pare, as you can see, when it comes to situational purposes, huwag nyo nang pahirapan. Pag nagka-apoy, consummated. Pag wala, di attempted, basic. Which of the following not an aggravating circumstance of arson? A, if committed during nighttime. B, if committed with intent to gain. C, if committed for the benefit of another. D, if offender is motivated by spite or hatred towards the owner or occupant of the property being burned. What is the answer? Letter A. If committed during nighttime, kadalasan to sa murder, Pero sa arson, hindi yan. Ang kulang natin dito, kapag committed by a syndicate. Yun yung kulang. Which of the following may show that the arson was motivated by economic gain? A, to hide or commit crime. Arson is committed. May ginawa siyang crime, kaya sinunog niya yung lugar. B, inflict injury another due to hatred or jealousy, nagselos, kaya sinunog. C, intimidation or economic disabling. Gusto mong bilhin yung lupa niya, so ang ginawa mo, sinunog mo na lang. And lastly, insurance fraud with assured benefiting coupled with the fact that the assured would transfer to another location. Letter D. Ito yung issue ng Star City. Meron daw insurance yun na malaki. Diba? Kaya nasunog. Pero hindi naman yun pa napapatunayan. So, haka-haka pa rin siya hanggang ngayon. Yes, dahil lugi na siya, sinunog para ma-establish ulit yung Star City, makuha nila insurance money. Pero until now yan, haka-haka pa rin. Okay. So, which of the following circumstances may cause arson investigator to conclude that series of fires are not executed by a serial arsonist? Ulitin ko Saan daw dito ang conclude that series of fires are not hindi daw executed by a serial arsonist? So, A. Similar device were used to propagate the fight. B. There is a significant difference in modus operandi. No? C. There is a significant similarity in the manner of commission of crime. And D. There is an insignificant variation as to the time of the perpetrator of arson. Ano kaya sagot dito? May sumagot ng letter D. There is a insignificant variation as to the time of the perpetration of arson. At meron namang sumagot ng B, there is a significant difference in modus operandi. Okay. Ano kaya dyan? Kung titingnan niyo yung tanong, no? Lahat daw ito ay may possibility serial arsonist ang gumawa. Except sa isa. Pansinin nyo, no? Kung mahilig kayo manood ng Netflix, mga mahilig sa Netflix, di ba? Ano ang kadalasang ugali ng mga serial killer? Yung mga serial killer muna tayo, Ano ang kadalasang ugali nila? Di ba, pansinin nyo, meron silang pattern. Okay, meron silang pattern. Kunwari, lalagyan nila lahat ng kiss mark. Diba? Ugali na nila yon, may signature na sila, very good. Meron na silang trademark kung paano nila ginagawa yung crime. So sa serial arsonist, ganun din. No? Meron din silang paboritong gawin o may pattern na sila. So, kung mapapansin nyo dito, ang nagsasabi lang na walang pattern daw is letter B. Pare, letter B. There is a significant difference. Meron daw difference sa modus operandi. Ibig sabihin, hindi pare-parehas ng ginagawa. Ito, yung letter D, insignificant variation. Pare, ito yung papatay sa atin sa board exam. Yung grammar. Sinasabi ko sa inyo, English grammar. No? Kung pwede magbasa-basa kayo ng grammar book. Diyan kayo, comprehension. Nako, madadali kayo diyan. Kasi, kadalasan tricky questions Katulad ng ganito. Okay, so, dito, letter B. Meron daw pagkakaiba-iba sa modus operandi. So, therefore, kung may pagkakaiba-iba, hindi serial arsonist ang gumawa ng crime na arson. Okay? Next. An extremely large fire that consumes a quarter or half of a city or municipality. A. Backdraft. B. Conflagration. C. Firestorm. And D. Flashover. The answer is conflagration. Okay? Pag half of a city or municipality na ang nasusunog, ang tawag po natin doon ay conflagration. 22. A tool employed by arsonists to delay the start of fire and allowed him to establish an alibi. Okay. To delay. During this time, nakakapag-establish na siya ng kanyang alibi. A. Accelerant. B. Timing device. C. Delaying tactic. And D. Charring. The answer is timing device. Wala tayong delaying tactic. Other term for timing device is? Ano other term? Plants. Okay, plants. Timing device yun. Okay. So, kung si plants ay ang timing device, si trailer, ang trabaho niya, this is to scatter or spread the fire. At ang accelerant natin is the speeding up the combustion. Accelerant, paborito nating mga accelerant, yan yung mga liquid gas. Diba? Ganun din sa trailers natin. Okay, tuloy. What is the common accelerant and are readily identified by their distinctive odor? A. Gasoline, B. Thinner, C. Kerosene, and D. Lighter fluid. Okay? Ano ang most common accelerant? Ang answer is gasoline. Very good. Almost 50%. Almost more than 50% of arson cases, ang ginagamit po nating accelerant ay gasoline. Kaya nahuhuli agad. Okay? Gasoline. Dito naman. Rolly wants to burn his own house. Sarili niyang bahay, gusto niyang sunugin. He turned on the flat iron and hit the same. Gusto niya daw yung tapos it heated the same. And thereafter, he placed the iron in contact with combustible materials. Nilapit niya dun sa mga, for example, mga papel. So, abandon the house and the fire starts. In 5 minutes thereafter, the house of Rolly is already in pre-burning phase. What is the method employed by Rolly? A. Use of plants. B. Use of trailers. C. Use of accelerants. And D. Arson. Ano daw yung method na ginawa ni Rolly? Gumamit siya ng plants. Tandaan niya na, yung paggamit niya ng mga combustible materials, yan ay mga example ng plants. Yung mga papel, clothes, mga kahoy. Okay. So, yun nga, it is known as the timing device. So, in the preceding case, can we file a case of arson, Rolly, despite the fact that he is the owner of the house burned by him? Pwede ba daw nating kasuhan ng arson si Rolly kahit na sarili niyang bahay yung sinunog niya? Yes, no, true, or false? The answer is yes. Okay? Pwede. No? Simple arson. Diba? Okay. Pwede natin kasuhan. Bakit hindi true ang sagot? Ba't di true? Kasi it is answerable by yes or no. May question mark, period. Matapos yan, ang answer ay true or false. Very good. 23. It can be readily identified by their distinctive odors, and most common examples are gasoline, turpentine, and kerosene. A. Accelerant. B. Timing device. C. Trailers. D. Stoppers. Okay, the answer is very good. Accelerant. Most malicious fires are set by individuals secretly. It is either set for revenge, self-aggrandizing, or for sexual gratification. Anong klaseng fire setter yan? Lahat yan ay fire setter. So, ang example niya, yung mga tao daw na nagsiset ng fire for revenge, or self-aggrandizing, or psychotic, or may sexual gratification. A. Group fire setter. B. Fire starter. C. Arson for profit. And D. Solitary fire setter. The answer is letter D. solitary fire setter. Ibig sabihin ng mga solitary fire setter, meron silang psychological fire setter sila. Okay? Yung kalaban nila is yung mismong sarili nila, no? Psychologically, behavior. Okay? Yes, yung mga pyromaniac, pasok dito, solitary fire setter. 25. What is the chipping or pitting of concrete or masonry surfaces due to fire? A. Charring pattern. B. V pattern. C. Spalling. And D. Pour pattern. Indicator lahat naman to ay mga indicator ng point of origin of fire. Diba? Pag namimili ka ng gusto mong malaman saan nanggaling yung apoy, hanapin mo yung point of origin, lahat naman to pwede. No? But, yung chipping of masonry, ibig sabihin yung mga concrete, yan ay for spalling. Sa mga concrete natin, spalling, masonry, surfaces, bato. Okay. Yung mga, yan yung itsura ng spelling. Mga alligatoring, charring, no? Kadalasan to sa mga kahoy, di ba? Char blisters yung makikita natin. These are called convex segments of carbonized materials that separates by cracks or crevices that forms the surface of char forming on materials as wood as a result of pyrolysis or burning. Nakakadalasan po ito sa mga woods. Okay. Ito pa yung mga halimbawa niyan. Yung pour pattern naman, it is often characterized by intermixed light, medium, and heavy burning in paddle shape that corresponds to the shape of the original pool of ignitable liquid. Okay. So, kung saan pinor yung mga liquid, no? Yan din yung tinatawag nating pour pattern. Okay? Ignitable liquid. Original pool of ignitable liquid. Nag-pour ka dyan ng kerosene, ng gas. Yun yung pour pattern. Yung crazing naman, kadalasan po ito, this is a network of usual cracks on a coated metallic surface. Kadalasan po ito sa mga metallic surface. Try naman natin to. Question 26. A pattern or network of fire irregular lines in glass and wood. The answer is A. Crazing, B. Light bulbs, C. Spalling, D. Charring. O kakasabi lang yan glass. Network. Kakasabi ko lang ng network. Letter A. Crazing. Nakita niyo yung network of fine irregular lines, matik yan, crazy. 27. The irresistible impulse or compulsion to start a fire and experience gratification and satisfaction from it. Okay. Irresistible impulse. Fire starter syndrome, pyromania, pyrotechnic, pyrophobia. The answer is pyromania. Meron siyang matinding impulse to start fire. Pyrophobia, you are afraid or fear of fire. Okay? #28. A popular chemical element used by arsonists to hide the odor or flammable liquid. Answer is letter D, ammonia. Siya na nga, ammonia. Amoy niya. Para magkatunog lang eh, no? So, this is used to hide the odor of flammable liquid. Yung amoy ng ammonia ang nilalagay nila para hindi maamoy yung gas. 29. Preparation to set fire. It is designed to feed the fire as rapidly as possible when ignition device is lighted. Okay. Tingnan niyo yung definition na rapidly. Saan ba dyan yung mabilis? Plants, trailers, accelerants, fuel. Saan ba dyan yung mabilis? Letter? May sumasagot ng A, may sumasagot ng C. The answer is accelerant. Di ba pampabilis nga yung yung liquid, katulad ng gas, accelerant. If the motive of fire is due to insanity, who among the following is probable perpetrator? Insanity pare A, jilted lover, B, rebel, C, terrorist, and D, pyromaniac. The answer is, sino lang ba dyan yung may sakit? Letter D, pyromaniac. The following except one may cause providential fire. A, lightning, B, rays of the sun, C, spontaneous heating, and D, matches played by children. Anong sagot dito? Lahat daw to pwedeng providential fire or natural fire na tinatawag natin. Except sa isa. Ano lang ba dito yung hindi natural? Letter? Putik ba sumagot pa rin ng A, pasaway. May except eh. Matches played by children. Diba? Accidental yan eh. Di, galit na ako. Char. Letter D. Matches played by children. Next. One of the following situation is good indication of an accidental fire. Okay. Saan daw dito yung indication of accidental fire? Ito na naman tayo. Kanina, providential, ngayon accidental. A, smell of ammonia. B, fire of several origin. C, intense heat. D, fire of only one origin. Saan daw dito? Lahat daw, one of the following situation is good indication of accident. May isa daw dito na magpapatunay na aksidente lang yung sunog. Saan daw dyan? Okay, the answer is una, hindi ammonia yan. Bakit hindi? Pag may ammonia, ibig sabihin ng arson, di ba? Therefore, hindi yun accidental fire. Di ba? Hindi siya accidental fire. Kasi nga, merong ammonia. May presence of ammonia. Ibig sabihin, sinadya yung apoy. Therefore, hindi accidental. Ano pa? Fire of several origin. Ano sagot dito? Binabawasan ko na. Fire of several origin. Pwede ba yun? No? Yung point of origin of fire madami. indication din to ng arson. So, hindi ulit ito yung sagot. Intense heat. Ibig sabihin, unnatural yung init. Therefore, hindi ulit ito. Ang sagot ay fire of only one origin. Ibig sabihin, normal lang yun. Isang lugar lang yung pinanggalingan ng apoy. Okay? Accidental fire. Meron bang aksidenteng nagsabay-sabay yung sunog? Di ba? So, answer is D. 30. It is punishable burning of own house in inhabited place. Is it punishable burning of own house in inhabited place? Okay. Inhabited. Punishable ba pag sinunog mo yung bahay mong inhabited? Sabihin may nagpapahinga, merong natutulog doon, merong nakatira doon. Answer is yes. Kasi merong maaapekto ang buhay. So therefore, it is punishable. If X on his possession are gasoline and matchsticks with intent to burn the nipa hut, he was able to pour the gasoline in the ceiling of the nipa, but was caught by bystanders. Is there any crime committed? Si X daw, hawak niya na yung gasolina, tsaka yung matchstick. At gusto niya na sunugin talaga yung kanyang nipa hut. No? Yung nipa hut. So, ang ginawa niya, nilagyan niya na ng gasolina yung ceiling, pero nung susunugin niya na daw, nakita siya ng isang usyusero. Okay. Meron ba siyang crime na nakomit? The answer is yes, meron na. Diba? Attempted arson na yun eh. Is there any crime committed? Yes, there is. Diba? Pare, yes. Letter C. Ang nakomit niya, attempted arson. So, ang sagot lang ay yes. Bakit hindi B? No? Question is, ang tanong lang naman niya, meron ba siyang nakomit na crime? Hindi naman tinatanong kung anong crime yung nakomit niya. Di ba? So, may mga ganyang klaseng question na nakakalito. Tayo. It is known as the Fire Code of the Philippines. Napakadali lang nito. Siyempre, RA 9514. Ano ba tong 1108? This is the Philippine Highway Act. So napakalayo, 'di ba? Hindi na kalaman 'yan kasama sa fire. Yung 1081 Proclamation of Martial Law 'yan. Siyempre hindi. Ito hindi ko na to sinama kasi napakalayo na nito sa kabiasnan. So hula-hula lang yung 1017. 33. The following are prohibited acts under the revised Fire Code of the Philippines. Except, lahat daw ito ay prohibited or bawal according sa Fire Code of the Philippines. A. Giving false or malicious fire alarms. B. Removing, destroying, tampering, or obliterating any authorized mark, seal, sign, tag, posted required by fire service. C. Locking fire exits during period when people are inside the building. And D. Abandoning or leaving the building or structure by occupant or owner with appropriate safety measure. Saan daw dito yung hindi paparusahan o legal na gawin? The answer is D. Siyempre nga naman, pwede mo namang umalis dun yung occupant sa isang building for safety measurements. Kunwari, nakita niya may sunog or nasisira na yung lugar kaya umalis na siya doon, legal naman yun. So, the answer is letter D. So, according to the International Maritime Organization, Class C fires is also known as A. Electric fire, B. Metal fire, C. Flammable fire, and D. Solid fire. O, yung Class C fire, ano ba yan? Answer is electrical fire. From the word itself, electric, with letter C, no? Class C fire. O yung mga metal fire, ano ba yan? Anong class yan? Class D. Flammable fire, ibig sabihin ng flammable, solid, liquid, gas. Liquid. Liquid yan. So, the answer is Class B. Solid fire. Mga combustible materials. This is Class A. Okay, 35. A type of fire that is the result of combustion of certain metals. Yan na. Yung mga magnesium, mga jum, potassium. Answer is letter D, Class D fires. 36. A type of fire which results from burning wood, paper, textiles. Ano mga example yan? Ang ating mga wood, paper, textiles, these are combustible materials. So the answer is Class A, fires. No? This is the most common source of accident fire. Is related to sparkling, arson, overloading, smoking. Ito daw yung laging cause ng accidental fire. Ang sagot natin ay accidental fire. Ito daw yung laging dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng accidental fire. Answer is overloading. Diba? Mababalitaan nyo, isang bahay nasunog, naiwan ang plantsyang nakasaksak, mga ganon. Diba? So, overloading po ang laging dahilan. So, when we say overloading, it is the use of one or more electrical appliances or devices when draw or consume electrical current beyond the design capacity of existing electrical system. Sobra-sobra na yung mga nakasaksas na device. Kadalasan ng dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng overloading, lalo na sa mga slum areas, is jumper. When we say jumper, yan yung nilalagay nilang piece of metal or electrical conductor used by bypass a safety device in electrical system. Ano? Jumper. Yes, ito yung exactly na sinasabit nila sa mga Meralco wire. Kaya sila nakakapag-jumper. Diba? The term describes the transfer of heat through gas or vacuum in a similar way to that of light. A. Ignition, B. Radiation, C. Convection, and D. Conduction. Through vacuum. Letter is letter B. Convection kapag liquid to gas, kapag conduction solid to solid. The following are the ways of heat transfer. Except, lahat daw to ay heat transfer except sa isa? Very good. Ignition. System interconnected pipe that supplies water for the fire suppression system in a particular installation. System ng pipe daw for firefighting or fire suppression. A. Wet pipe. D. Dry pipe. C. Standpipe. And D. Sprinkler. Ang tamang sagot dito. Answer is para standpipe. No? Yung standpipe, may iba't iba yung uri yan. Merong wet pipe, merong dry pipe. Pero pag ang ganito yung tanong, system of interconnected pipes, ang sagot dyan ay standpipe. Ma'am, ano po yan yung tsura niyan? Okay. Ma'am, ano naman po yung fire hydrant? Pag sinabi nating fire hydrant, it is a mechanical device strategically located. Itong term na strategically, mahalaga yan ha. Sabihin, pinlano, ginamitan ng engineering. So, located in an installation or street where a fire hose is connected so that the water with pressure will be available to extinguish a fire. Kapag fire extinguisher naman, okay, a firefighting equipment, ang keyword natin lagi sa fire extinguisher is yung portable or cart that is used to put out fire depending on the content to extinguish certain type of fire. Okay. Yung tinatanong naman kanina na sprinkler, ito naman po yung sprinkler definition. Okay? So, si sprinkler, ang keyword natin dyan ay automatic water supply system. Okay? It is an integrated system, overhead piping. Kaya overhead, ibig sabihin nasa ibabaw. Kung ito yung tao, yung sprinkler natin nasa ibabaw, overhead. Okay? So, pag nakadetect yan ng sunog or apoy or init or usok, okay, merong automatic water supply system. Okay? Tingnan tayo ah. 41. It is considered a fire aid device that is very effective when the fire is small or just starting. Ang keyword natin dyan ay fire aid. Fire extinguisher, fire hydrant, fire hose, o fire sprinkler. The answer is letter A, fire extinguisher. Okay? Yan lang naman yung fire aid eh. Kaya nga portable siya eh. No? The following are principles of fire extinguishment except, okay? Lahat daw ito ay methods or principles of fire extinguishment except sa isa. Okay? A, oxygen control. B, fuel removal. C, heat reduction. And D, fire feeding. The answer is of course, fire feeding. Diba? Extinguishment nga eh. Ibig sabihin na extinguishment, tinatanggal mo yung apoy, pinuputol mo. No? So, kung fire feeding, dinadagdagan mo yung apoy, ibig sabihin. So, mali. Yung word na except. No? Kabahalaga. Next. So, ito yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina, no? Yung mga methods of fire extinguishment. So, pag cooling, again, water yan. Reducing the heat to below the ignition temperature. Other term for cooling is quenching. Blanketing, it prevents oxygen from combining with the fuel. And smothering by expelling oxygen. And lastly, removing or starving fire by removing fuel. Tingnan natin to. Water works best to extinguish a blank fire. A, class A. B, class K. C, class C. And D, class B. Okay. Ang class A, class B, class C o class K ba ang water? Okay? Best works for class A. Kasi yung class A, para yan sa mga combustible materials, katulad ng wood, papers, ba? Yung ating isang chemical na ginagamit din for extinguishment, yung AFF. Ilang percent ang water doon? Meron kang fire extinguisher, AFFF. Ilang percent doon yung water? Very good. 94% and 6% yung AFF. Okay? Very good. 43. The primary course of action in case of fire. A, pack up and flee. B, call the ambulance. C, run for your life. And D, raise the alarm. Ano daw yung dapat mong unang gawin? Primary course of action kapag may sunog. Okay? Pack up, tapos takbo na. Tumawag ka ng ambulansya. Run for your life. Tumakas ka. Or raise the alarm. Ang tamang sagot ay, syempre, i-raise mo muna yung alarm. Okay? Raise the alarm. (44) In relation to fire safety inside a theater, there are only two important markings and signage. The fire extinguisher and A, no smoking, B, cell phones off, C, fire exit, and D, keep quiet. Ito yung mga mahilig sa magsine. Balita ko, bukas na yung mga sinehan na. Yun nga lang, bad trip doon. 1 seat apart. 1 seat apart, no? Magde-date kayo ng jowa mo sa sinihan. Yun nga lang pare, sad to say, 1 seat apart kayo. Mag-Netflix na lang kayo. So the answer is, di na magne-Netflix na lang. Makatipid ka pa, no? Villanueva. Answer is, fire exit. Yan lang naman mapapansin natin. So when we say fire safety, it is the totality of undertakings, process or systems that ensures person or property against the effect of destructive fires. No? Lahat ng procedures na pwede nating mapigilan at ma-ensure na tayo ay safe from destructive fire, that is fire safety. So, ipag-differentiate natin yung mga definition of terms na to. Diba, meron tayong fire inspection, fire prevention, fire suppression, fire control, at fire investigation. No? So, pag fire inspection, may pinagawa kang building. Gusto mong gawing yon, commercial area. Ngayon, para maging legal yung mabigyan ka ng permit, kailangan ng fire inspection. Therefore, there is a view of the installation. I-check nung may authority kung okay ba, goods ba yan dun sa plano mo. Okay. Prevention, ibig sabihin, lahat ng bagay that may avoid the possibility of fire. Magkakanta ka ng seminar, diba? Sabihin mo, wag po kayong wag kayong magsunog, wag kayong magganito, wag kayong magganyan-ganyan, wag kayong mag-overloading ng mga saksakan, fire prevention. Sa suppression, pasok na dyan yung extinguishment. Bakit may pagpatay na? Di ba pag sinabi natin extinguishment, pinapatay mo na yung apoy. Kasi meron ng apoy. Sinosuppress nyo na. Nililiitan nyo na. Binabawasan nyo na yung apoy. Ayaw nyo nang palakihin. Okay. So, pag fire control naman, still, may apoy na. But you want to keep the fire to a minimum or manageable level for easy suppression. Okay, pasok pa rin sa suppression si fire control. Containment ang ginagawa natin sa control. Ino-contain nyo na hindi na kumalat, hindi na lumaki. And fire investigation, if we are talking about the determination of the cause of fire. Ano ba? May intent ba ang pag-set ng fire? Accidental ba to? Okay, kaya nagkakandak ng investigation. Okay. Another na kailangan nating pag-usapan ng mga definition of terms. Itong fire trap, nangyayari yan if the building is unsafe. Okay? Kaya nagkakaroon ng inspection, ina-assure nila na walang fire trap. Okay? In case na magkasunog, hindi siya mapa-fire trap. Okay? Si fire trap, building is unsafe in case of fire because it will burn easily or because it lacks adequate exits or fire escapes. Yan. Okay. Yes. Yung nag-example ng ozone. Kung alam niyo yung nangyari doon, yung diskuhan, nasunog sila, nalock sila dun sa loob. Okay? Walang sapat na exit, nasunog silang lahat. Okay? Na-fire trap sila. Okay? Hazard, yung mismong condition ng lugar. Okay? Ito yung hinahanap ng mga fire inspector. Okay, iniikot nila yung lugar if there is a possibility na mayroong fire hazard or condition that increases or may cause increase of probability of the occurrence of fire. Okay? So lahat ng klase ng fire hazard, may nakabukas na tangke, meron silang napansin na walang exit, o kaya napansin nila wala masyadong ventilation. So lahat ng klaseng condition na yon, fire hazard yon. And abatement, any act that would remove or neutralize a fire hazard. Si fire inspector sabi niya, ay, napansin ko may dito may kulang yung bintana. Padagdagan. Okay, paano? Okay. O kaya, basta, lahat ng possible na mag-neutralize ng fire hazard. Abatement yun. Pag pinaayos yun, yung fire hazard, ang tawag natin doon, abatement. Okay? Okay. For example, ikaw ay inspector. Ang unang ibibigay sa iyo dyan, pare, ay inspection order. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-inspection sa isang building wala kang inspection order. Okay? So, sino-sino lang ba yung pwedeng mag-inspect? It's either yung BFP officer, na galing talaga sa BFP office. So, pag meron siya inspection order, okay, pwede na siyang mag-conduct ng fire inspection. So, sa fire inspection, dalawa lang yan. It's either papasa ka, kasi lahat ng mga nasa Fire Code of the Philippines, nasunod mo. Kapag pasado ka, bibigyan ka ng FSIC o yung Fire Safety Inspection Certificate. Together the occupancy permit. Yun nga lang, kapag bagsak ka, pare, ang ibibigay sa iyo ay notice of disapproval. Fail. So, ang ibibigay sa iyo notice of disapproval. Hindi matutuloy yung kung business establishment yan or hindi. Ay, sorry. Okay? Let us answer this question. Any act that would remove or neutralize fire hazard. What is the answer? Letter C. Abatement. Nasabi na yan kanina. Another one. The process of determining the cause of fire. Answer? Fire investigation. Very good. 45. Which of the following has its purpose of releasing heat and smoke from a burning building? Saan daw dito, yung purpose is ilabas lahat ng init at usok sa nasusunog na building. Answer. Confinement, ventilation, fire safety, conflagration. The answer is ventilation. Very good. So, meron lang naman tayong tatlong klase ng ventilation, no? Meron tayong vertical ventilation, yung tinatawag nating top to bottom, katulad na nakikita nyo dito sa first photo, no? Binutasan nila yung ibabaw, no? Yung ceiling. Diyan nila pinalabas yung usok. Effective to, lalo na kung nasunog na rin naman yung other areas, no? Mas mabilis yung mapaparelease yung init. Pwede din naman cross or horizontal ventilation if meron pong sapat na ventilation yung lugar. No? Meron siyang malalaking bintana. Okay? So, pwede mong ipadaan na doon yung usok. Katulad ng nasa picture na to. Okay? So, sa gilid lang pinapadaan. So, it is used if the gases have not reached the higher level through the opening windows. Possible din to kung hindi pa nga nasusunog, kung may third floor, second floor yan, hindi pa siya nadadamay. Okay? And lastly, yung mechanical force ventilation, no? Yung may duct system, no? Gumagamit ng mga exhaust fans. Okay? They are using smoke ejectors to utilize to remove faster excessive heat and then smoke. Okay, katulad nitong ganito. Tatlo lang yan, ha? Meron tayong vertical, cross or horizontal ventilation at mechanical force ventilation. (46) Which among the following is commonly used in fire-resistant materials? Ano daw yung ginagamit dito? Asphalt, cotton, diamond, or asbestos? Ano ginagamit kadalasan? Letter D, asbestos. Okay? Yan ang most common na ginagamit for fire-resistant materials. The following, except one, are strategies of firefighting. Saan lang daw dyan? Ang hindi strategy, kasi except one eh. Locate, confine, extinguishment, answer not given. Answer. Letter D, very good. Answer not given. 47. It refers to the removal of people and critical materials from unsafe building. Alisin mo daw mga tao and yung critical material sa lugar. Letter, evacuation, rescue, excavation, or response. Sumasagot pa rin ng mali. Sir. Letter A, evacuation, no? Removal of people. Pare, yan yung keyword. Yung rescue, okay? Kasi, yung mapapansin mo dito, kaya evacuation, no? Removal of people and materials. Okay. Sa rescue, no? Nasusunog na yung lugar. Ito, unsafe building pa lang eh. Evacuation. Sa rescue, removal of occupants. No? Literal na nasusunog na yung lugar. So, you need to rescue the people, the occupants. Okay. Si excavation, ano to pare? Process of digging. Kunwari, may kinukuha ka sa lupa, no? Excavation ng tawag doon. Response, it is an act of responding to situations. Paano ka nag-respond sa sunog, sa earthquake, okay? Yung aktong ginawa mo. Okay? So the answer here is evacuation. 48. The greatest concern of fireman at a fire or crime scene is to A. Interview witnesses. B. View the site of the crime. C. Preserve the crime or fire scene. And D. Photo opportunity in the fire crime scene. Ano ba ang pinakamahalagang concern ng isang fireman? Letter C, preserve the fire or crime scene. Kahit fire scene yan, we consider that also crime scene, lalo na kung arson yan. Okay? In arson investigation, what is the focal point of fire prober upon entering the fire scene? Pag sinabi nating fire prober, fire investigator yan. So, ano daw yung focal point ng isang fire investigator? Letter A, save lives. B, interview witnesses. C, observe color of the smoke. And D, locate the point of origin. Anong trabaho ng isang arson investigator? Answer is letter D. Tandaan nyo, tapos na yung sunog dito. No? Hindi na fire extinguishment ang ginagawa nila. Nag-i-investigate na. Therefore, hindi na part ng work nila yung is to save lives. So the answer is, they want to locate the point of origin para malaman nila kung meron bang possibility na arson yung crime. Another, determination of origin of the fire will frequently involve the coordination of information derived from the following except A, the physical marks or fire patterns left at the fire scene. Okay. B, observation reported to the person who witnessed the fire or were aware to coordination present in the time of fire. C, the analysis of the physics and chemistry of fire initiation, development, and growth as an instrument related to known hypothesized fire condition capable of producing those conditions. And lastly, an abnormal connection of low resistance between normal circuit conductors where the resistance is normally much greater. This is an overcurrent situation, but it is not an overload. Saan dyan? The answer is letter D. Yan o, meron, sa kanya lang hindi malinaw yung coordination of information. Okay? Letter D. The eyes and ears of investigators in the fire investigation are the A, bystanders, B, arsonists, C, victims, and D, firemen. What is the answer? Sino ang eyes and ears ng investigators in a fire scene investigator? Ang sagot dyan ay firemen. Firemen po. So during the time na nag-i-extinguish sila ng apoy, no, sila din yung magiging eyes and ears ng mga investigator pagkatapos ng sunog. No? Sila rin yung i-interviewin. Place where the fire started. A, master bedroom. B, kitchen. C, point of entry. And D, point of origin. The answer is letter D, point of origin. Diba? Yung point of entry, ginagamit yan pa sa crime scene. So, ang ating point of origin, also known as a low point. Kung matatandaan natin, nagbigay na ako nito ng chart ng lahat ng mga point na yan. Kaya you can screenshot kung nawala na yung kopya. Para meron na kayong mga keywords. 49. It is the most cases the initial step for obtaining information to determine the origin and cause of fire. A. Evidence collection. B. Interview witnesses. C. Laboratory examination of the evidence. And D. Interrogation of suspects. Ano daw yung initial step para makakuha ka ng information? Ha? Saan dyan yung initial step? Initial Kapag gusto mong makakuha ng information, ano ang una mong gagawin? Letter B. Siyempre, mag-interview ka muna ng mga witnesses. Diba? At least para magka-idea ka kung ano talaga yung nangyari. Okay, 50. Most arson cases are proved by blank evidence rather than direct evidence. A. Circumstantial. B. Documentary. C. Testimonial. And D. Physical. Kadalasan daw yung mga arson cases, ano lang daw klase na ebidensya ang nagagamit? Circumstantial, documentary, testimonial, o physical. Sa mga arson cases, commonly guys, ang mga ebidensyang nagagamit lang ay circumstantial. Okay? Kasi kadalasan nasunog na lahat. Okay? Yun nga yung purpose ng mga arsonist kadalasan, di ba? Gusto nilang i-hide kung meron man silang crime na nakomit. Kasi nauubos din yung ebidensya, hindi nakikita. So therefore, circumstantial. Okay? So, bigyan nyo lang ako ng 5-minute break para lang makaihi. Naiihi na ako. 5 minutes lang talaga. So, sa akin, 10:55. Saktong 11, mag-start ako agad. Okay po? Thank you. Tayo. So, yan. Saktong 11. So, nakita ko may mga na dito, mga naantok na. Yung kape tayo. Sige, kaya niyan. Ganun talaga kapag nagre-review. Sakripisyong konti. Pero, after naman yan, at pumasa na kayo sa board, sinasabi ko sa inyo, iba na. Gamitin ang pinag-aralan pag-graduate. Wag hahayaan, mag-lose hope. So, last time, galing ako sa nag-panel ako sa PNP Maritime Group, no? Mga sumali doon, mga nag-a-apply for final deliberation. Meron mga 8 times na nag-a-apply, 4 times. So, wag susuko. No? Wag susuko. Tsaka malaki ang quota doon. Balang araw, pagtapos yun nito, pwedeng-pwede na. Okay, laban lang. Okay. So, 51. Which of the following shall cause the investigator to assume that the victim died on direct contact with flame? Okay? Kasi di ba sabi nga natin, ang laging dahilan kung bakit namamatay is asphyxia. Pero ito, paano naman pag direct contact with flame? Ibig sabihin, nasunog talaga siya directly. Ano ang kadalasang makikita? So, A, presence of soot and fire gases at respiratory tract. B, prominence of trauma that is probably caused by a stab. C, intense charring of the whole body. And D, none of the above. Ano kaya dito? A, B, C, or D? The answer is letter C. Kaya mag-mix eh. Okay, letter C. Okay, bakit hindi letter A? Letter A kapag asphyxia. No? Letter A, pag asphyxia yung kinamatay. Pero kapag flame, directly nasunog siya, kadalasan makikita natin dyan, may intense charring in the whole body. Okay, next. Okay. Absence of soot and fire gas in the respiratory tract may indicate wala daw soot, walang fire gas dun sa nasunog na katawan. So, letter A, the victim dies before being burned. B, the victim dies due to the fire. C, foul play. And D, answer not given. Ano kayang dahilan? Answer? Letter A. The victim dies before being burned. Okay? Siguro kaya walang suit dun sa loob ng katawan niya, no? Kasi patay na siya bago siya sunugin. Okay? Yung suit po, yan po yung, di ba? Imaginein mo na lang pare yung kapag nasunog yung, ganito na lang, para mas madali. Di ba yung kandila? Nung bata ka, ang ginagawa mo, nilalagay mo yung daliri mo sa ibabaw nun. Tama? Dahil hindi complete yung burning, okay, makakapansin ka doon ng kulay black sa kamay mo. Okay, yung black na yon, o yung, pwede rin naman, yung sinasabi nitong classmate mo na parang ash. Kaso nga lang, yung suit mas pino kaysa doon sa ash. Yung ash kasi gray siya, di ba? Yung suit kadalasan yan kulay black yan. Okay? So, yung suit po, doon yun nanggagaling. Okay? Dahil may incomplete combustion, di ba? May complete combustion kapag kulay blue yung flame. Pag ang combustion naman natin, orange flame yung nire-release, no? Incomplete yung combustion, merong result niyan is soot. Yung soot na yon, yung kulay itim na yon na parang ash nga na sinasabi ng classmate nyo, no? Pumapasok po yan sa hininga ng tao. Okay, yun yung nagkakos kung bakit namamatay. Okay? 52. Fire is an active principle of burning, characterized by heat and light of combustion. The heat produced by fire is caused by A. Exothermic, B. Endothermic, C. Pyrolysis, and D. Flame. Yung heat daw na napoproduce ng fire is caused by what? Exo, endo. Letter A. Exothermic. Absorption, endothermic. Okay, next. 53. Which of the following must be done by the fire officer before declaring a burned place as fire out? Okay. Bago niya i-declare na fire out, ano ang ginagawa? A. Overhauling. B. Ventilation. C. Confinement. And D. Call medical assistance. The answer is, sinabi natin yan kanina, overhauling. Okay? Next. Pag sinabi natin overhaul, yan yung complete detailed check. I already said this before. 54. So, Simon burned a house with intention of killing the occupants therein. If you are the investigator, what case should you pursue against Simon? A. Arson, B. Murder, C. Arson and murder, and D. Arson with homicide. Ano to? Letter B. Murder. Okay? The answer is murder. Bakit hindi arson? Sa mga ganitong klaseng cases, kahit saan ka pumunta, sa criminal law, sa subject ng fundamentals of criminal investigation, or even here in fire, lagi niyong hanapin yung intent. Ang intent dito is to kill Di ba? Intent to kill. Therefore, ano lang ba dito yung may killing? Murder. Okay? In United Kingdom, the crime of arson is known as A. Burning, B. Destructive arson, C. Explosion, and D, incendiarism. What is the answer? Kasi sa United Kingdom, yun ba talaga yung English nila doon? So, ang answer natin dito is incendiarism. Okay? So, kapag sa choices, no, walang arson at meron kayong nakitang incendiarism, ibig sabihin yan, intentional setting of fire, ang sagot natin ay incendiarism. Kaya, letter D. Okay, 56. Fire is the active principle of burning, characterized by heat and light of combustion. Okay, nasabi ko na to. So the answer here is, what is the light produced by fire? Huwag kayong malito ha. Huwag kayong malito. Okay. So the fire is active principle of burning, characterized by heat and light. So what is the light produced by fire? The answer is flame. Sa flame, meron tayong dalawang klase. No? Yung may incomplete tsaka complete combustion. Okay? Next. 57. A descriptive of any substance that ignites spontaneously when exposed to air. Kahit anong substance daw and exposed to air at nasunog spontaneously. What is that? A, arc, B, fire hazard, C, pyrophoric, and D, fire trap. The answer is pyrophoric. Very good. No? Gumagaling na yung mga bata ko. Snappy. Okay, 58. So sa 58, Rolly wants to burn his own house. Okay, so in turn, thereafter, he plants the iron in contact with the fire. Starts. In 5 minutes thereafter, the house of Rolly is what method employed by Rolly? The answer is, may nagkakamali pa din. Totoo. Yan totoo. Ha? Use of plants. Diba? Nasabi na to kanina eh. 59. In the proceeding, ano daw yan? Despite the fact, the answer is yes. Okay? Okay, 60. What is the act of removing fire hazard from the building? Abatement, suppression, occupancy, inspection. The answer is very good. No? Abatement. No? Tinatanggal natin lahat ng mga fire hazard sa bahay or sa building. Kaya nga nagkakandak tayo ng fire inspection para ma-identify ito for abatement. Suppression para sa extinguishment. 61. What is the examination conducted by authorities to assess the safety of installation from destruction by fire? A, fire control. B, fire prevention. C, fire safety. And D, fire inspection. The answer is letter D, fire inspection. Yan, paulit-ulit tayo ha. Hindi na natin to pwedeng pagkamalian. Fire inspection. Which of the following is not an aggravating? So the answer is, nasabi ko na to kanina, huwag ako nagkakamali. Okay? The answer is letter A. Okay, ito nasabi na rin to kanina. The answer is letter B. So, which of the following may show that the arson Committed by gain? Okay. Ang answer po natin dito ay insurance fraud. Actually, napakaraming ways para ma-identify natin kung merong economic gain. Sa totoo lang. Di ba? Yun nga, pwedeng may insurance yung isang bahay or yung isang building. Okay. Pwede din naman, no? Ang motive din niya for profit. Kasi ganito yan eh. Meron tayong tatlo. Di ba? Meron tayong yung tinatawag nating insurance fraud. Wait lang. Hindi natin. Yan. Insurance fraud. Pwede din na desire to dispose merchandise. Yan yung tatlo eh. Desire to dispose merchandise. This is another motive of economic gain. Meron pang isa. They want existing business transaction. Meron silang existing business transaction. At yung transaction na yon, it's either hindi na nila natapos, no? Merong impending settlement or failure na bankrupt, kaya nagkakaroon ng ganitong klaseng motive. Okay? So, main point dito, economic gain. Tatlo lang yan. Meron siyang desire to dispose the merchandise, meron siyang insurance fraud, or there is an existing business transaction that is not settled. Okay? Next. What is the condition or act which increase or may cause an increase in the probability of occurrence of fire, or which may obstruct, delay, hinder, or interfere with the firefighting operation and safeguarding the life and property? Ano yan? Arc, fire hazard, pyrophoric, o fire trap. Dalawa lang yan eh. It's either fire hazard or fire trap. Ano yan? Letter? Hazard or trap? The answer is fire hazard. Kasi condition, no? Hindi naman sinasabi na literal na trap lang. So, napakaraming condition para mag-increase yung probability ng occurrence ng fire. Okay? So, the answer is letter B. Number 66. What is the method of fire extinguishment done by preventing the oxygen from combining with fuel? Ano ba dito yon? A. Cooling. B. Quenching. C. Smothering. D. Starvation. The answer is, may sumagot ng blanketing. Kaso wala dito yung blanketing. What is the answer? Letter C. Smothering. Other term for smothering is blanketing. Yan yun. Kaya yung sumagot ng blanketing, tama din naman yun. Okay? 67. Water works best in extinguishing fire? Class A. Okay? So, si Class K, yan yung mga kitchen fires natin. Okay? Class B. Okay? Para naman yun sa mga flammables. Okay? So, kailangan pag mga flammable liquids, dry chemicals ang ginagamit natin dyan. Okay? So, Class C, electrical. fires. Natanong ko na to kanina. Fire feeds in all direction, but at least likely path will follow is very good, downward. Tandaan nyo, yung normal naman, yung most normal dito sa tatlo is upward. Very good. So dito, may kita natin, still mga motives pa rin tong tatlong to. Okay? Si pyromania is a uncontrollable impulse. Sa rebels naman, kadalasan ng ginagawa nila dito, no, is for public disturbance. Ito naman mga terrorist, kadalasan po nito ay yung mga tinatawag nating extremist. Pag sinabi nating extremist madlang people, they are ideological. Diba? Yung mga terorista natin, it's either ang ideology nila is religion, no? May certain may certain silang goal or paniniwala na gusto nilang i-implement, no? Ideology. Jolted lover, mga seloso. Mga seloso natin dyan, ha? Huwag kayong huwag niyong susunugin yung partner niyo pag meron lang nilapitan. Okay? Okay. So, ang answer po dito, pyromania. Okay. 70. Basically, fire has 3 important elements. Okay. However, what is the fourth element? Ulit-ulit tayo dito. Pag ito, nagkamali pa kayo. Letter C. Very good. Okay. Ang answer natin dito ay uninhabited chemical reaction or self-sustaining chemical reaction. Pare-parehas lang yun. 71. One of the following situation is a good indication of accidental fire. Ano yung sagot natin dito? Smell of ammonia, fire of several origin, intensity, fire only one origin. Okay, very good. Fire of only one origin. Hmm. 72. The cause of majority of fire death is, sinabi ko na to kanina, shock, burn, falling materials, asphyxiation. What is the answer? Letter D. Kaya, letter D. Okay, but ayaw ma-next ulit. '73. Using electrical appliances which draws electrical current beyond the design capacity is known as overusing, overloading, overplugging, or overcapacity. Ano sagot? Letter okay, very good. overloading. Next. 74. The purpose of closing the doors and windows during fire is to A. Stop the fire. B. Confine the fire. C. Slow down the spread of the fire. And D. Spread accelerants. Bakit daw kapag may firefighting procedure, sinasara yung mga doors and windows? Bakit kaya? Anong dahilan? Okay? Gusto ba natin mapigilan yung apoy? Gusto ba natin i-confine? Gusto ba natin bagalan yung pagkalat ng apoy? Ha? Letter. Tandaan, we want to confine the fire. Letter B. No? Ayaw mo na kumalat, ayaw mo na mag-spread. Yan yung tamang term lang. Okay? Confine. Letter B. Next. 75. Which of the following may indicate the origin of fire? A. Alligatoring or charring pattern. B. Flashover. C. Boiling point. And D. Flame. Saan ba dito yung pwede tayo mag-indicate ng origin of fire? May sumagot ng may mali pa rin sumasagot. No? Ilan lang naman yung magpapa-identify ng origin of fire. Diba? Letter. Pare alligatoring or charring pattern. Diba? Kapag may nakikita tayong alligatoring or charring pattern, yun din yung tinatawag nating point of origin. Point of origin, origin of fire, pare-parehas lang yun, madlang people. Ha? So the answer is letter A. Siyempre, hindi yan flashover kasi dangerous act of fire nga yun dangerous behavior of fire. So hindi yan yung sagot. Hindi din naman pwedeng boiling point, di ba? At flame. Kasi result yan ng combustion si flame. So mali. So the answer is letter A. 76. The eyes and ears of the investigator of fire investigation. Ito pag mali pa kayo Letter D. Firemen. Hindi yung mga bystanders. Hindi yung arsonist at hindi rin yung ating victim. Laging yung firemen. Sila ang unang papakinggan ng mga investigators natin. Okay. Which of the following is not a solid combustible? A. Plastic. B. Wood. C. Textiles. D. Liquefied petroleum gas. Sino daw dyan yung hindi solid combustible? Pag may nagkamali pa dito, kukonyatan ko na. The answer is letter D. Yan liquefied petroleum gas. So tandaan natin, kung matatandaan natin, kapag ang mga ebidensya na nakuha mo sa isang fire scene ay solid, kadalasan, ang means of preservation natin, katulad nito mga to, plastic, wood, textiles, ang preservation natin yan, we are containing it in a sealable plastic container. Sa mga sealable plastic container. Ma'am, paano naman pag ang nakuha naming ebidensya is liquid? Saan naman po namin nilalagay? Pag liquid, katulad ng mga kerosene, ganyan yung nakita nyo sa crime scene, sa fire scene, ilalagay po natin yan sa mga contained test tubes. Test tubes. Ma'am, paano naman po kapag ang nakuha naman namin sa fire scene is gas? Gas. Saan naman po namin siya pwedeng i-seal o i-preserve? Kapag ang ebidensya na nakuha sa crime scene or sa fire scene ay gas, you must contain it in a mounted jar. Sa jar or you must seal it with a plastic and rubber band. No, yun na yung pinakalock niya, yung rubber band at saka plastic. Kapag gas. Okay? Pero kapag, ulitin lang natin, kapag solid, sa sealable plastic container. Pag liquid, sa contained test tubes. Kapag sa gas, jar with plastic and rubber band. Kaya, huwag kalimutan yan. Number 78. Totally of undertakings, process or systems that ensures person or properties against the effect of destructive fires. A, fire safety. B, fire suppression. C, fire control. And D, fire prevention. What is the answer? Letter totality. So, lahat daw ng ginagawa mo para mapigilan na maging affected ka sa destructive fires. Letter A. Very good. Fire safety. It refers to the critical view of installation conducted by authorized personnel of the fire department to determine the safety and hazard from fire and recommend necessary change if correction should be made. Overhaul, salvage, ventilation, or fire inspection. Letter D, di ba? Fire inspection. Okay? So, you want to ensure na ang isang building or establishment kompleto po or sinusunod ang Fire Code of the Philippines para inspection. Yung salvage naman, nasusunog yung bahay dito. Tapos yung kabilang bahay, yung kapitbahay, ginagamitan ng tubig para ma-prevent yung spreading of fire. Yun yung salvage na tinatawag natin. Okay? The process of determining the cause of fire. Saan ba dito yon? Fire investigation, fire scene search, fire inspection, or arson. Answer is fire investigation. Okay? Bakit tayo nag-i-investigate? We want to know the cause of fire. Okay? Yan naman talaga yung dahilan eh. And we want to prevent its reoccurrence. So, ang reason bakit meron tayong fire investigation, number 1, you want to know the cause of fire. And number 2, we want to prevent its reoccurrence. Okay? Kaya push na push tayo sa fire investigation. Ha? Okay. Ilan po ang members ng fire arson investigation team? Ilan? Ilan? Ha? Ilan ang members ng Fire Arson Investigation Team? Okay? Meron tayong 6. Tandaan na, 6. Okay? Ang members ng Fire Investigation Team, meron tayong tinatawag na team leader. Okay? Yung ating lead Fire Arson Investigator. Lead Fire Arson Investigator. Meron tayong Fire Scene Photographer. Meron tayong Fire Scene Sketch Preparer. Meron tayong Evidence Custodian at Team Security Personnel. Ha? Tandaan, 6. Meron tayong team leader, lead Fire Arson Investigator, meron tayong Fire Scene Photographer, Fire Scene Sketch Preparer, at meron din tayong Evidence Custodian at Team Security Personnel. Yeah? Okay, number 81. An extremely large fire that consumes the quarter or half of the city or municipality. Ang sagot natin dyan ay conflagration. Ba? Kung matatandaan natin, si backdrop ay explosion from sudden introduction of air. Okay? And flashover, yan naman po kapag merong fire setting in the same time. Spontaneously. Pag sinabi naman nating firestorm, no, it is an intense fire during which rising air creates vacuum beneath surroundings air, rushes to fill the gap, and forms extremely strong winds and propagate the fire. Okay? Pag firestorm, yung mismong air, no, yung mismong atmospheric air na po yung nagkukos kung bakit kumakalat yung apoy. Okay? Yan na. Ang keyword mo dyan, strong winds and propagate the fire. Yung mismong paligid, naturally, yung hangin na pinoproduce ng kapaligiran, yun po yung nagpo-propagate ng fire, yung nagpapakalat ng apoy. Kaya, next, we have 82. Refers to the size of fire. Saan dyan yun? Putik, pag ito mali pa. Size of fire. Letter D. Keyword natin kay flashpoint nga kasi ulit. D. Lowest point. Other term for ignition point? Yung ating kindling point. Kakalimutan na agad. Kindling or the minimum temperature. Intensity, yan yung tinatawag nating degree of heat. Ito alam nyo sa Arson, paulit-ulit yung mga words. Pero, paulit-ulit yung mga definition, iniiba-iba lang nila yung mga salita. Kaya huwag kayong malito. Kailangan alam mo lang talaga kung paano nangyayari yun. Para pag nasa questionnaire, mag-iba-iba man yung salita niyan, alam mo pa rin isagot. '83. Chemicals used to suppress the fire. A. Chemical agents. B. Water. C. Extinguishing agent. And D. Fire extinguisher. Anong tamang sagot? Ano daw yung mga chemicals used to suppress the fire? We have, of course, yung ating mga extinguishing agents. Oh. Yung recent kayo, yung pinaka-ginagamit nating extinguishing agent, yun nga yung AFFF na 94%. No? Kaya, huwag niyong kalimutan yon. Ano ba yung nilalaman ng AFF? Para hindi kayo magkamali. Kung di ako nagkakamali, lumabas na yun sa board exam eh. No? Yung 94 and 6% na ano niya. Okay? Next. 84. The chemical decomposition of matter in reaction to heat. Oxidation, pyrolysis, endothermic reaction, and the exothermic reaction. Oh, napakadali nito. Pag ito mali pa. Oh, letter B, Bravo. No, pyrolysis. Exothermic, thermal decomposition, pare-parehas lang yan. 85. The place where the fire started. Place where fire started. Oh, yan yung dahilan kung bakit may mga investigator tayo. Okay? We have the point of origin. Utang na loob. Pag dito pa ito nakabisado. Kaya, so point of origin. Kaya pag hinahanap natin yung point of origin, no? Hinahanap natin kadalasan yung yung tinatawag nating indicators ng point of origin, 'di ba? Meron tayo yung tinatawag nating V pattern. Ito yung most common, how the fire moves. Meron tayong paddling. Yung paddling, yun yung where liquid accelerants are used. No, yung paddling. Okay. Ito yung hinahanap natin kadalasan to indicate the point of origin. Okay. Meron rin tayong tinatawag na deep burning. Yung ating V pattern sa ibang book, U pattern, pare-parehas lang yan. 86. It is performed in order to free the building of smoke and fire gases. Ano? Ang ginagawa? Meron tayong ventilation. Okay, pag sinabi nating salvage, an action taken by the firefighters in preventing excessive damage by fire, water, and the use of salvage cover or by removing materials out from the burning building. Okay. So the following, except one, are the strategies of firefighting. Oh. Letter D. So sa firefighting naman talaga, inuuna natin is the location of fire, no? Confinement and extinguishment. So lahat yan ay strategies of firefighting. Okay? Anong act ang gumawa sa Bureau of Fire Protection? Anong batas ang gumawa sa Bureau of Fire Protection? Madlang people. RA 6975. Diba? Matik yan. Try Bureau, madlang people, ha? Baka nalilito kayo. RA 6975. Okay? Hindi yan magbabago. Okay. Fire caused by deliberate act or human incendiarism. Meron tayong natural fire, intentional fire, accidental fire, and class C fire. Okay. What is the answer? Sa number 88, natural, intentional, accidental, or class C fires. Okay, the answer is intentional fire. Very good. Okay, merong deliberate act of incendiarism. Yung salitang incendiarism pa lang, keyword nyo na yun. Diba? 89. Pertains to means employed to keep the fire to a minimum or manageable level for easy suppression. A, fire safety, B, fire suppression, C, fire control, and D, fire prevention. Anong tamang sagot? Safety, suppression, control, or prevention? The answer is fire control. Very good. Yung minimum, we want to manage it para hindi na kumalat, no? Kapigilan ng spreading. So the absence of soot and fire gas in the respiratory tract may indicate burn, dies due to the fire, foul play. Answer, letter A. 91. The rate of temperature, how hot the fire, it is also known as a rate of burning. Letter A, intensity. Very good. Ito, pag-usapan natin. Refers to the document issued by the fire marshal to his authorized representative to inspect a particular installation. Ano daw yung papel ng isang BFP officer na kailangan dala-dala niya bago siya mag-conduct ng inspection? Letter C. Diba? Kailangan niya ng inspection order. Diba? Itong notice of disapproval, ibibigay yan kapag, kapag deny. Very good. Yung occupancy permit, ibibigay naman yan kapag approve. No? Kapag tama lahat nung, sinunod nila lahat nung sinabi ng isang fire inspector. Even the fire safety inspection certificate. Diba? So, yan ang isa sa mga trabaho ng mga BFP officer. Bukod pa sa firefighting. No? Mas madalas nga ito yung trabaho nila kasi hindi naman laging may sunog. Okay. So, kadalasan nagbibigay po ng fire safety inspection certificate kapag pasado ay sino? Yung ating director. Okay, ilang star meron si fire director? Very good. 2 star lang pare, no? 4 kapag PNP. Pero sa fire po, 2 lang. No, yun na yung highest official nila. Si fire director, 2 star. Okay? It is appointed also by the President and recommended by the DILG. Tandaan nyo sa BFP, laging recommended by the Secretary of DILG and endorsed from the Chairman of the Civil Service Commission. Hanapin nyo lagi yung salitang Civil Service Commission. Kasi, kung mapapansin nyo, ang nagpapa-exam din sa BFP officer, di ba yung mga nagte-take ng fire examination, civil service din po ang nagbibigay. Kaya hanapin nyo yung endorsement from the Chairman of the Civil Service Commission. Okay? #93. The method employed to reduce the heat below the ignition temperature. A. Cooling. B. Smothering. C. Separation of fuel. And D. Inhibition of chemical reaction. What is the right answer? Letter yes, very good. Cooling. Oh, other term for cooling, ulitin ko lang, quenching. 94. So it is performed to avoid mushrooming of smoke. The firefighters will punch a hole at the top of the building as escape point of smoke. Top, tandaan yung salitang top. Saan dyan yun? Vertical, cross, mechanical, or fire exposure? The answer is letter A. Very good. Vertical ventilation. Okay? Mechanical, yan yung meron kang exhaust fans. Gumagamit ka ng ba? Cross ventilation naman. Oh, alam niyo na yan. Okay, very good. 95. What is the phase stage of fire where the same has the highest rate of intensity? Saan yung may highest rate daw? Incipient, initial, pre-burning, o smoldering? Okay, letter C, the pre-burning phase. Ano daw dyan yung nagpo-produce na lang ng smoke? Letter D, very good, smoldering. Okay, nakakasunod na. 96. What is the temperature that must be reached by a matter in order to combust? Ano daw yung temperature na dapat ma-reach ng isang matter para mag-combust, para mag-burn? A. Boiling point. B. Flash point. C. Kindling point. And D. Freezing point. Okay? Ano ang sagot? Letter C. Okay? At least kindling point, 'di ba? Kindling point, ignition point, no? The lowest point, 'di ba? Very good. Kindling point, letter C. Sa 97, the restaurant owned by Jimmy was burned. Upon investigation, 10 tanks of FPG was found therein. Meron daw 10 LPG restaurant. Under the Fire of the Philippines, Fire Code of the Philippines dapat yan, if substantial amount of flammable substance or materials are stored within the building, not necessarily in the business, neither the offender nor for the household use the same, may use as a prima facie proof. Pag sinabi natin prima facie, ba, Yan ay strongest type of evidence. So, is it a prima facie proof of arson? Can use the recovered 10 tanks of LPG as a prima facie evidence of arson against Jimmy? Letter A, yes. B, no. C, maybe. And D, sometimes. Ano yung tamang sagot dito? Pwede daw ba nating gamitin as prima facie evidence yung 10 LPG gas na nakita nila during the investigation sa restaurant ni Jimmy? Ha? Is it yes or no? Prima facie ba yon? Kasi daw, sa Fire Code of the Philippines, pag may substantial amount ng flammable material dun sa lugar na nakita na not necessarily na kailangan sa business, therefore prima facie. But ito kaya? Okay? The answer here is, mga pare, ang sagot dito, no. No. Restaurant yung lugar, pare. Ibig sabihin, substantial na meron lang siyang LPG gas doon na madami. Siyempre, madami siya ginamit. Meron siyang oven, for example. Meron siyang lutuan. So, sa restaurant, normal lang na may LPG gas. Therefore, that is not a prima facie evidence of arson against Jimmy. Di ba? Nakikita niyo yung mga ganitong klaseng question, di ba? Parang akala mo tama ka na, di ba? So sa mga ganito na questions, guys, possible ganito yung lumabas ng mga question mga situational. I-check nyo lagi yung kung sino, ano, no, yung 5 W's and 1 H bago ka sasagot. Okay? Para makuha mo ng tama yung sagot, pare. Wag basta-basta. Okay, mga tricky questions, ingat lang madlang people. Ulit-ulit, pyrolysis also known as ano yung pyrolysis? Pag ito, hindi nyo pa ito nalaman. Thermal decomposition. Very good. 99. What is the term used to describe liquid materials that can burn? Combustibles, hypergolic, pyrophoric, o flammable? Letter D. Paano yung inflammable, ma'am? Liquid ba yun? Solid or gas? Pag lang nakita mo inflammable, dati natatawa ako sa sarili ko kasi nung estudyante pa ako, pag inflammable, akala ko hindi nasusunog. Yung pala hindi. Other term for flammable lang yun. Inflammable, flammable pa rin yun. Okay? They are also the same. Okay? Nasusunog pa din. Okay? Flammable liquid pa din yun. Okay? So the answer here is flammable. Last question for madlang people. What is the method of fire extinguishment done by reducing the heat? Letter A, quenching. B, blanketing. C, smothering. Yung natatawa ko dito sa isa niyong classmate, yung parang ma'am, bilisan mo na, inaantok na ako. Sorry na. Smothering. D, starvation. May galit na yung di ba? Letter A is quenching. Very good. Letter A, quenching. Or cooling. Okay? So, yan. Congratulations, madlang people. Natapos din natin. Actually, that is more than 100 questions. No? May mga dinagdagang question bukod dyan sa binigay ko sa inyo. So, I think meron naman na kayong reviewer, but if it is needed, magbibigay pa ako para sa ano. So, sana natuto kayo, lalo na sa mga tricky questions na nuggets nyo kung paano sagutan. And nadali nyo yung mga style na